Obviously, you're a Bitcoiner. We consider ourselves more Bitcoin fundamentalists.
Which is almost the same thing.
Almost. Do you consider yourself a Bitcoin maximalist?
No, not at all. I think that from my perspective, I haven't talked about this too much, but to me, the breakthrough in all of this is triple entry accounting, right? Or what I call like automated finance. And so the idea is, if you go all the way back to kind of the time of the Medicis, right? Double entry accounting was probably one of the greatest inventions in human history. Literally, there's this guy who's considered the father of accounting. He was writing a book on mathematics. He realized that some of these Italian merchants were literally using kind of debits and credit system to keep track of their businesses. He wrote a kind of a section in this mathematics textbook about it. And Leonardo da Vinci at the time is painting the Sistine Chapel, and he figures out that there's this book that exists that has another section on math and art. So he gets the book, he starts reading it, he really latches onto this double entry accounting idea, has this guy come and tell him more about it. He ends up telling his friends. His friends are the Medicis, who run the Medici Bank. They then kind of popularized double entry accounting, and that literally was the foundation for all sorts of innovation, entrepreneurship, the Industrial Revolution, like all of that stuff came from that single debits and credit system. But it was very silent. So if you think about, I have, let's say, a debit and credit system or double entry accounting for our business, for myself, each one of you do individually, but our balance sheets don't talk to each other, right? Our P&Ls don't talk to each other. And so the corollary is, think of communication previously. It was really, really hard to communicate with people in the past. You had to write a letter, you had to go visit them in person, right? As the telephone got invented, then the internet, like those barriers came down. And the more that we could get people interacting and communicating with each other, like that human is a node in the human network, right? The more those nodes kind of communicated, then all of a sudden human productivity went through the roof, right? And things like the internet have powered all kinds of things that previously were unavailable. Well, I think that's the same thing that happens with triple entry accounting. Triple entry accounting is essentially the same thing. It's connecting balance sheets, right? Or these debits and credit systems, and it's turning them into a shared ledger where you, I, and 10 other people can all now transact with each other in a very connected way. That way was previously not available before Bitcoin. And so there's things like permissionless, right? And all of that. But ultimately, triple entry accounting is super important. So first time that gets actually put into practice is with Bitcoin. It explodes. It's 150, $200 billion asset in about a decade. Now, there's going to be other places where we can apply triple entry accounting, right? We've invested in a number of businesses. I think the big question is like, who builds the technology that manifests the application of triple entry accounting to their business? So, take Figure Technologies, which we wrote a big check to. They're trying to do it for all sorts of debt products, right? So home equity line of credit, student loan refinancing, that type of stuff. We've also invested in businesses that are building on top of, let's say, Ethereum, right? And they're realizing, hey, there might be some benefits there. And so for me, it's less about like maximalism around a single blockchain, right? Or a single piece of technology. It's maximalism around triple entry accounting will be the most disruptive innovation in our lifetime, hands down, period. It'll make the internet look like it doesn't even matter, right? When we look back 100, 200, 300 years from now. Now, what that also means, though, is I am a maximalist in the sense of there's only going to be one currency. We get one shot to separate money from the state, right? And that's going to be Bitcoin. If Bitcoin does not work, we will never separate state and money, right? And the reason why is it's all about trust. Money is not a technology problem. It's a trust problem. And so when you think about a country where the currency has failed, so take Venezuela as kind of the preeminent example recently. Everyone believed in the state currency. That state currency failed. When Venezuela shows up and says, hey guys, sorry about that. Like we have a second one. Like here's our new currency. Everyone's like, I don't trust you. Hell no, I'm not putting my wealth there, right? And they go seek other options, whether that's US dollars, gold, Bitcoin, whatever it is. Same thing I think happens here with the separation of state and money. We have one shot on a global stage to separate state and money. If it doesn't work, it doesn't matter what else comes along as a currency. People will say, oh, separation of state and money doesn't work, right? And so I think that that's a important nuance for people to understand is you can actually be a maximalist around currency, being Bitcoins are one shot to separate state and money, and still believe that the application of triple entry accounting will be pervasive in pretty much every other aspect of the global economy.
Hey, great clip.
Yeah, Pomp's the man.
If you want to check out the full conversation, there's a link to the full episode down below in the description.
And if you're interested in more Bitcoin and cryptocurrency content, make sure you subscribe to the channel.